The big headline in just the last truly 45 minutes or so, if there's not a deal by Friday, he says they're going to cut air traffic in this country by 10% just about at major airports. Listen to this.
I anticipate there will be additional disruptions. There will be frustration. We are working with the airlines. They're going to work with passengers. But in the end, our sole role is to make sure that we keep this airspace as safe as possible.
Bottom line, it could potentially be a super painful slowdown for travelers who are already dealing with delays, with cancellations, et cetera. The department says about a fifth of the delays we saw yesterday were because of staffing shortages. Keep in mind, we can't definitively connect those shortages to the shutdown. But at 36 days, it has now gone on longer than any other shutdown in American history. You've got hundreds of thousands of federal workers not getting paid, 42 million food aid recipients, SNAP recipients getting just about half their benefits this month. And that is stretching food banks thin. We've got team coverage tonight. Aaron Gilchrist live for us in South Carolina. But I want to start with Mel Zanona. So Secretary Duffy coming out and he's like, hey, man, if you like your flights, you're going to have fewer of them if we don't get to a deal by Friday. This seems pretty clearly intended by the Trump administration to try to back Democrats into a corner here. Fair?
Yeah, and it absolutely could. Air travel is what broke the camel's back in the last shutdown.
People care. People want to get to where they're going on time.
Also, members of Congress, they're frequent flyers, too. Let's not forget that. So, yes, this could be a breaking point, especially because the Trump administration already alleviated some of the other big pain points, whether that's paying the troops, partially funding SNAP, paying WIC. I do think this is a massive deal, this announcement. That being said, Democrats are feeling emboldened after the election last night. They feel like their message is working, that voters want to keep seeing them fighting. So we'll see whether this changes the calculus or not. There have been about a dozen or so Democrats who have been engaged in bipartisan talks to find an off-ramp. Republicans have been reporting some progress. You have Susan Collins, appropriator, saying they made progress. John Thune, the GOP leader, saying they're close to an off-ramp. Mike Rounds saying he's optimistic. He's been involved in the talks. So we'll see if Republicans can at least pick off enough Democrats to reopen the government.
Did Duffy get specific on sort of what airports, what that looks like, anything else about this 10% reduction in air traffic?
There are still a lot of details that we don't have, so it does seem to be still early in that process, but this is a big, big threat from Duffy.
The other piece of this, too, like he's saying by Friday, we in our team, I know, had been talking earlier in the week. Was that only Monday? That was like 2 days ago. Whatever. It's only Wednesday. But they've been sort of saying, maybe there was this glimmer of hope. What we heard from, of course, Senate Republican John Thune, that maybe there's a glimmer of hope this thing could end this week. Can you give us your reported analysis here, Mel? What are the chances that there really is progress enough by Friday so that this threat becomes moot?
Even if, like, best case scenario, they come to an agreement, I don't think it'll be done by Friday because it's only Wednesday. You know how the Senate works. They can move quickly when they want to, but they don't even have the contours of a deal yet. They're talking about things like, we need to change the end date of the stopgap funding bill. They don't even know what that end date would be changed yet, let alone something like we also need to pair it with a vote on extending Obamacare subsidies. So they're still days away from even putting something together. Then it still takes time to vote. Then the House still needs to come back and pass it. They're not even in session right now. So the chances that this is actually done deal open by Friday, I would say very slim right now.
Can I just say, too, like holiday travel, Thanksgiving travel, huge travel weekend. I know that's still a few weeks away. I was talking with some smart Republicans just in the run-up to the election last night who suggested, listen, they don't think it'll last that long, like feeling good that maybe it'll be this week, next week. But that's another potential pain point for people because this is visceral.
It is, yeah. That would be an absolute meltdown if this shutdown is still happening by Thanksgiving. But what I'll say about that is that Republicans have underestimated Democrats and their unity throughout this entire process. So TBD.
Super interesting. Mel, come back. More that I want to talk to you about as we continue to follow any developments out of the DOT and out of Congress. Thank you.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.